I'm back. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So first of all, happy new year. 2019 is here already. It's been forever. It's been such a long time since I last uploaded a video. It's been over 2 months, well, except from the video that I uploaded on Tuesday, but that was with pictures from the looks that I created in 2018, so it's not exactly the same. I've actually haven't done a talk through video since 3 months ago because the Halloween videos that I uploaded weren't really talk through. I just showed you what I was doing without really saying anything. So yeah, it's been a hot minute, but I'm back, I'm ready. And the reason that I haven't uploaded anything in over 2 months is because school happened. I had my exams and it was taking way too much time, more than I expected. I thought that I would be able to upload one video here and there, but I just couldn't. It was just too much in a very short time, so I just had to focus my time on that. And also another thing is that it's the middle of the winter, of course. Here in Norway, the day is quite short. So here in the city that I live, I have like 4 hours of good daylight. That's not always the case because sometimes it's very cloudy and very dark, and I depend on natural lighting to film my videos because I do have a ring light, but that is not enough because it does lighten up my face very well, but it's not enough to light up my background, and my face is very light and the background is very dark, and it creates this contrast that I don't like, and that's why I really have to have daylight. I'm really struggling with it at the moment because I have very limited time where I could film, and of course I have to be at school and do other stuff. Unfortunately, I cannot prioritize filming at the moment, so I'm looking into it. I'm gonna try to find some solution, but until then it's gonna be like this. But anyways, this video is not about that. I was just trying to briefly explain why I was away for so long, but now I'm back, I'm ready to film. I have a lot of video ideas and a couple of collabs, so it's gonna be very fun. But in this video, what I'm doing is a yearly favorite. I love watching these videos from other YouTubers. I think they are so cool. That shows what products they really love, and I often buy those recommendations and they turn out to work very well for me as well. So I'm gonna be talking about the products that I've used the most in 2018. Most of these products didn't come out in 2018, but I'm still gonna talk about them because those were my favorite. Without further ado, let's get into the video because I don't have much time. The daylight is slipping away, so let's get started. So I'm gonna be starting with face products, and I'm gonna go in an order that I kind of apply them. For example, start with primer and then foundation and blah blah blah. Okay, let's get started. Primer. The primer that I used most in 2018 is this one. This is a Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, and if you remember, early in the year I had this product in a Disappointing Products video, and that's because I thought it was a highlighter. I thought it was going to be a very intense highlighter, and that was not the case. But then I started using it as a primer, and surprisingly enough, I just kept using it. I couldn't put it down, especially during the summer. I think this looked very beautiful on my skin. It might not show up so much underneath the foundation because the foundation covers it, but I still enjoy it very much. And of course, when I use it during the summer, I wouldn't really apply any foundation. I would just apply this all over my face, and I would just leave it like that, and I was good to go. As you can see, I've used about half of it, and each time I wouldn't really use that much product, so this is definitely my most used primer. Foundation. So the foundation that I really liked and used the most is the Bourjois Healthy Mix foundation. As you've heard me say for 1,000 times, I have dry skin, and this is so good for dry skin. It's really a gel foundation, and that makes it so hydrating and beautiful and dewy in the skin, so that's why I've been really loving it. The coverage is not that great. I think it's light to medium, probably more light than medium, but it's very easy to build it up, and that's what I was doing, and I just loved it. Now for concealers, I have two I want to show you. Of course, my absolute favorite concealer is the Tarte Shape Tape. It is a very full coverage concealer. It can be a little bit drying sometimes, especially if you have very dry under eyes, which I have. They can look cakey and powdery very fast, but overall I've been really enjoying using this concealer because of the full coverage. I really need it because my dark circles can get quite intense sometimes. This is a must-have for me, and it actually has quite a lot of products, and it's gonna last you for quite a while. But there's one more concealer that I have really been enjoying in 2018, and that's the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age age eraser, whatever. It has a long name. It has quite good coverage. It's not as full coverage as the Shape Tape, but I don't always want that. Sometimes I want a little bit of a lighter coverage. I really like the formula of it. It's very nice and smooth, and that's why I've been really using it a lot. It's funny because I would see it everywhere for so many years, and it had never intrigued me enough so that I would go and buy it and try it. And one day I just decided, okay, let's just do it, and I never looked back. And it's a very affordable concealer. Now I'm gonna talk about powder. I'm gonna start with a pressed powder, and the powder that I've been really liking for my dry skin is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus pressed powder. I'm almost done with it. There's like very little left, but I really like this powder because you can almost not feel it on the skin, but at the same time it sets the makeup on place, and that's why I really enjoyed using it all over my face. But for underneath the eyes, I've been loving another powder, and this is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Powder. Now listen, when this powder came out, so many people have been raving about it, especially people with dry skin, with dry under eyes. They say that it's perfect for underneath the eyes. You can almost not feel it. You can apply as much powder as you want and it's not gonna look cakey. So I was like, give me that. I need that powder in my life. So I went and bought it, and when I first tried it, I wasn't impressed. I was like, okay, it's a very good powder, but it's not as impressive as they all say. I mean, they made it like the best powder ever. It's very good for dry skin, that's for sure, but it's still a powder. So if you apply a lot of powder underneath your eye, it's still gonna look as a powder and it's gonna look cakey. So that's why I was a little bit disappointed, but I kept using it and using it and using it because I really wanted to see why people rave about it so much. I couldn't understand it. Just like I said, I felt like it was a very good powder, but not as good as they were saying it was. And then one day I decided to use another powder, and I couldn't. I noticed the difference immediately. I was so used to using this powder, then I was like, no, I cannot do it. I need my Hourglass powder. It makes my eyes look so smooth, and I didn't realize it before I used another powder that I used to use before, and I was like, okay, I actually need this powder every day to use it underneath my eyes. So then I realized how much I was obsessed with it and how much I was used to using it, and I could definitely tell the difference when I use another powder. So that's why this has really become my favorite powder, especially for underneath my eyes. It's a little bit pricey, but I think after realizing how much I need it, I can say that it is worth it. That was a little bit of a long story, but I just need to explain that it wasn't my favorite until I realized how different it is from the other powders that I own. Moving on. Now for bronzer. There are really two bronzers that I use all year round. One I use during the summer and one I use during the winter, and you can tell because I've hit pan on both of them. So the first one is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Everybody's talking about this bronzer. I think it's everybody's favorite bronzer. Oh, it smells so good. I use this during the winter because it's a very nice neutral bronzer. It's not too warm. When you don't have a tan, you're not gonna end up looking orange. This is in the original shade. They come up with two more shades, one which is lighter than this one. Probably won't work for me because this is already a little bit light for me, and another one which is called Sunkissed. I have that one. I thought it would be perfect for the summer, but I have to say it's not that much darker than this one. It's a little bit warmer, but it's not that much darker. That sucks a little bit because there are really not many complexions that can use this kind of bronzer, and it's really an amazing bronzer. They should really come out with more shades. That's the one. And the other one is the Catrice Sunglow Matte Bronzing Powder. I hate this broken lid. It drives me nuts, but the bronzer, it's so good. I've already hit pan. I mean, how often do you hit pan on a bronzer? And this one too smells quite good actually. I've been using this bronzer all summer long. I think it's a very good, very affordable bronzer. If you haven't tried it, I really recommend this. Now moving on to blush. Now for some categories it hasn't really been so easy to choose which was my favorite product, but this was very easy. I know exactly which one was my favorite. I have the Burt blush in Toasted Cinnamon. It has become my favorite blush of all time. First of all, the formula of the blush itself, it's amazing. I have it in another shade, but especially Toasted Cinnamon, it's so beautiful. Just like I said in another video, if it wasn't for Kathleen raving about it, I would have never bought it. If you ever come across this blush, you really need to pick it up. Now for highlighters. I'm really sorry about this, but the highlighter I'm gonna be talking about is a limited edition. You probably cannot get your hands on it anymore, but I had to include it. It's my favorite highlighter by far. I just had to. And that is the KathleenLights and Makeup Geek highlighter. This trio right here. I just love this highlighter. It's gold and it's perfect. I've been using it all year round, but especially during the summer, I've been using it like crazy. I am sorry that this is limited edition, but this is really my favorite highlighter. I couldn't choose anything else. I'll be lying. But also another highlighter that I've been using a lot, which is not powder, it's a cream highlighter. It's also a collab of KathleenLights. I know, I'm kind of obsessed with her. That is the one that she did with Colourpop in the shade Fire. Just like I said, it's a cream highlighter. I've done some damage on it. I've almost hit pan. Yeah, I just love it. It's perfect. It's not super blinding, but the shade of it is so beautiful and it looks so natural. It looks so beautiful. Those two, perfect. The last thing for face product is setting spray. You probably know which one I'm gonna be talking about, and that is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I have to talk about this product. This is really the best setting spray ever. The only thing that annoys me a little bit is that it might look that it has 250 ml, but it only has 82, and that's really not that much product. You go through it. I go through it quite fast. I really like to bathe in setting spray. This is my second bottle and it's halfway through it, and the first one I bought was in summer, and I've been really trying to use other sprays too so that I don't go through it so fast, because if I use this every day, I would go through it in a month. I love it. I'll always continue to buy it, although I go through it quite fast, but that's how it is. I don't have a choice. I need this in my life. I don't have a choice. But there's also another setting spray that I've been really liking, almost as much as my Morphe one, and that is the Glamglow Glow Setter. This has quite a similar mist. It's so fine, you can almost not feel it touching your face. This has actually 250 ml product, and I bought this in summer too, and I have so little left. I haven't used it in a while because I really don't want to finish it and go out and buy a new one, because this is a little bit pricier. This is a higher end product. I've been just saving it and using it very little. So yeah, those two setting sprays have been really my absolutely favorite in 2018, and they'll probably continue to be on 2019 too. Okay, moving on to eyes. I want to start with an eyeshadow palette. Now this category was a little bit difficult to choose from, because since the end of 2017 I've been trying to do a thing where I use one eyeshadow palette for 4 different looks, and I'm only allowed to use that palette and not dip into other palettes. And that has really helped me, first of all, to go through all of my palettes, because I started with my oldest one and I keep going. That has really helped me to realize quite a few things. Like, for example, some palettes I realized that they are absolutely gorgeous and I should use them more often than I do. Eyeshadow palettes is the product that companies come out with the most. There are new eyeshadow palettes that come out all the time, and you can easily just use the newest one and then forget about the old ones that you have, and most of them are amazing qualities. So that's why I started doing this one, because I'll just get new eyeshadow palettes down and I'll just use them and I'll forget about the old good ones that I had. So this made me realize that some are amazing and I really have to use them more often, and also it made me realize that some of them are really not as great as I remember them, so I have given them away. So that's also a good thing, because it creates more space for me and I don't hold on to palettes that I don't use and they're not necessarily as good quality as I'm used to using right now. Also, another thing is that it made me more creative, and because I have to do 4 different looks with each palette, it has pushed me to find new ways to use that specific palette, and instead of doing the same look with that palette over and over again. So it has been a very nice little project. It's still going on because I haven't gone through all the eyeshadow palettes that I own yet. So that's why it has been a little bit difficult to decide which one was my favorite palette of 2018, because I've been using different ones all the time. But if I had to choose one, or actually 2, I'm gonna be talking about 2. The first one I'm gonna be talking about is the one that I've used most, or for example, if I went for traveling, I would think about about that and I would take that with me, and that is the Dream Street palette. I think the shades in this palette are gorgeous, especially the shimmers are so beautiful. You can create very beautiful everyday looks, and also you can create some very beautiful night looks. I wish it had a mirror for when I go traveling, but it's okay. And I'm also talking about one other palette. I've used it for a bit and I just fell in love with it. It is really amazing. That was another collab which was limited edition, unfortunately, and you cannot get it anymore. I really hope you got your hands on it. What I'm talking about is the Dezinky, the differentiation palette that they did with those of colors. It's really gorgeous. When it first came out, I didn't really buy it because it's a bit pricey, and of course they don't sell it in Norway and I had to import it, and because of the price I would have to pay import fees and taxes. I have the first palette that they came out with and I really love that palette, and I thought I have that one, it's okay. More and more people will say how amazing it is, and I was like I know it's amazing, but still, is it really worth paying the extra money for the tax and the import fees? And I was like it's okay, I'm not gonna get it. And it sold out so many times and it came back, and then at some point Beauty Bay had a sale. I think it was around Black Friday. Then it cost under the limit, which I would have to pay for taxes. So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna get it, this is the perfect time. So I grabbed it and I am so happy that I did. It is such an amazing quality. It's even prettier than it looked on videos and on photos. I'm so happy that I did. It has become really one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes like ever. Unfortunately, it was a limited edition, but if you got your hands on it, then you know how good it is. Now, next thing I have to talk about is an eye primer, and that is the NYX Glitter Primer. Now, I don't usually use eye primers. I usually use concealer and then I just go ahead and apply my eyeshadow, and it works just fine for me. But when it comes to shimmering shades and glitters, I have been really loving this primer. I started using this with shimmering shadows and it has really made a difference. I didn't do it before. I would just apply the shadow and then leave it like that. But using this primer has really changed the way the eyeshadow looks. First of all, it sticks to the eyelid and it's not gonna be moving, because shimmers and glitters tend to move a little bit and they can transfer. So with this one, it's gonna really help to keep them in place. They're not gonna transfer as much as they would if you didn't have this one, and also it makes them very intense. It makes them more intense than they would be on their own. So that's why I've been really enjoying using this underneath shimmers and glitters. Since I started using this, it has really changed the way that my eyeshadows look. Very good product, not that expensive. It's really gonna take you a very long time till you go through it, so definitely worth it. Moving on to mascara. This is the best mascara in the drugstore. I definitely prefer mascaras with this kind of one. It gives me a lot of volume and I love it so much. When it comes to mascara, I really prefer volume over length, and this definitely does that. And it's drugstore, it's really cheap. It is my absolutely favorite mascara. Not much more to say about this product. Now for lashes, these have been my favorite. These are the House of Lashes Iconic. I really like the way they look on the eye. They make my eye look very big and I really like that. They are quite big and intense and I like that. Not for every day, but I still like them a lot. My only complaint really is that because of the way that the band is made, they can get a little bit damaged when I clean them, when I try to remove the glue of them. That sucks a little bit because they're not that cheap. That's why this one has been cut in two. I really haven't used them that much. The ones that I have from Violet Vogue, I've used them over 50 times. They are amazing. They last for such a long time. So I wish they would just last a little bit longer. But other than that, they are so beautiful. Now when it comes to brow products, I've been really using only one product the whole year, and that is the Benefit Ka-Brow. I think it's a great product. It's not as intense as the Anastasia one. I find the undertone to be perfect and I don't think I'll ever go through it. This is gonna last me for the rest of my life, I'm pretty sure. And I kid you not, I've been using it every single time I've been doing my brows, and it looks like I barely use it. So this is a great product. Benefit makes very good brow products. So now when it comes to brow gel, this has been my absolutely favorite. This is the gel from the Brow Gel. You get quite a bit of product in here. It's quite a good price for as much product as you get. I really wish that the wand would be a little bit shorter because I find it a little bit too long. It is really going to keep the brows into place. They really don't move. It's a very strong eyebrow gel. I need a brow gel that keeps my hair into place. I've used it for quite a bit, but it ended up drying at the end and then I couldn't use it anymore. So I guess it would be better if they had a smaller product that you could use completely up before it dries up, but that's how it is. Another brow gel that compares to this one is by Benefit, the clear one. Now when it comes to pencil eyeliners, I don't really use them so much, but if I had to choose one, that would definitely be the Linda Halbert crayons. They are so amazing. I've never come across a formula like this. I have some glittery ones and I also have some matte ones. If you can see, they are very beautiful and glittery. They are the creamiest and smoothest formula, because usually eyeliners that are very creamy don't really last for a long time, but those are going to stay in place. Once they dry, you can really barely remove them. They are waterproof and they stay in place, and they are just really incredible. And I think Linda Halbert products are not really talked about so much, and they should, because they are absolutely amazing. And they also are multi-purpose. You can use them on your waterline, eyes, lips, face, everywhere. If you haven't tried any Linda Halbert products, you should definitely do that. They're definitely worth it. Now when it comes to a gel eyeliner, what I've been using all year long is this one by Inglot. It's in the shade 89. It's a very beautiful purpley brown. I really like using black eyeliner, but since I started using this one, I've almost never used black eyeliner this year. If you don't like using black eyeliner, this is definitely gonna be a very good alternative for you. And I also think it looks very nice with brown eyes, so I've been really loving this one. Now when it comes to lip products, I don't really use lip products that much. I use a lip balm all year long, and I wish I would use a little bit more color, but I just find it annoying that I have to check on my lips if the product moved, or if I drank or ate something, then it goes away. So anyways, it's a little bit too much of a hassle for me to use that every day. But when I do use a lipstick, this one is definitely my favorite. I haven't had it for a very long time. I immediately fell in love with it. This is by Ofra. It's in the shade Miami Fever, especially for fall and winter. It's amazing. It's this very beautiful burnt orange shade, and the formula of the Ofra liquid lipstick is very good. It's quite comfortable. It's not transfer proof, but it's very comfortable. Something else that I really started using this year, I wouldn't really use it before, that is lip glosses, and by far my most used is this one by Clarins. I'm almost done. I am determined to finish it. It's a very good gloss inside. I just wish it wasn't like this. I just wish it was a regular lip gloss like this one. That's why it's a little bit annoying, but still I've been using it very often. It gives you a little bit of color, but it's mostly the shine that I like. This has definitely been my most used in 2018. Now the last product I'm gonna be talking about is a lip oil. This is also by Linda Halbert. You can use it for your lips, but you can also use it for your cuticles. This is a very beautiful and good lip oil because it's not thick and sticky, and I've been really loving it for everyday use. And also it gives you an amazing glossy effect, which I really like. Sometimes I really want my lips to look glossy and juicy. This has definitely done it for my lips, and it does it even better than a lip gloss. It makes them looking wet, but because it's a little bit of a thinner consistency, it gets absorbed by the lips quite fast, and you have to reapply it a little bit more often than a normal lip oil. But as you can see, I've been really using it very often. Alright, I'm finally done. I went through all of the products. That took a while, but we're done. I'm really happy that I got back to filming. I really enjoy it. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comments down below. And that is it for this video. I really hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.